Revolvers aren't just about old-school style, they're about raw stopping power. Some calibers hit with bone-crushing force, tear through steel, and have earned respect from cops, soldiers, and hunters worldwide. This countdown of the top 10 deadliest revolver calibers proves why size, speed, and impact matter more than anything else. And trust this, number 1 will leave jaws on the floor. Number 10. 460 Smith & Wesson. When Smith & Wesson introduced the 460 in 2005, they weren't just making another revolver round. They were aiming for the fastest handgun cartridge on the planet. Mission accomplished. This beast rockets downrange at over 2,400 feet per second, making it the highest velocity revolver round in the world. Despite the 460 name, the bullet actually measures 452 inches, carrying DNA from classics like the .45 Colt and .454 Castle. What really sets it apart is versatility. A revolver chambered for 460 can also shoot .454 Castle and .45 Colt, giving shooters everything from lighter practice loads to full-power monster rounds, capable of dropping dangerous game. Handloaders love it too, often using rifle primers to ignite those massive powder charges. With bullet weights ranging from 200 grains up past 400, there's a load for almost any need. At 65,000 psi, it rivals rifle pressures. And while ammo from Federal, Hornady, Buffalo Bore, and others isn't cheap, the performance is jaw-dropping, especially when this round even shows up in lever-action rifles. Number 9. 50 Action Express. Desert Eagle owners know this beast intimately. The 50 Action Express represents pure handgun overkill in the most magnificent way possible. Originally designed for semi-automatic pistols, this massive cartridge fires 300 to 350 grain bullets at velocities reaching 1,500 feet per second. The terminal ballistics are absolutely devastating, with enough power to punch through barriers that would stop lesser calibers cold. While most associate the 50 AE with gas-operated pistols, several companies chamber revolvers for this powerhouse round. Magnum Research produces their BFR revolver specifically for the 50 Action Express, creating a wheel gun that turns heads at every shooting range. The recoil is punishing, the muzzle blast is blinding, and the report is deafening. But the stopping power is unquestionable. This cartridge does not merely wound or disable, it obliterates whatever it strikes. Bone, muscle, and barriers crumble before its massive frontal area and crushing momentum. The 50 Action Express costs approximately $4 per round, making range time an expensive proposition. However, for those seeking maximum intimidation factor and stopping power in a revolver platform, few calibers command the same level of respect and fear. When someone chambers a 50 Action Express, they are making a statement about their commitment to overwhelming firepower. This is not a cartridge for the casual shooter or recoil-sensitive individuals. Number 8. .454 Castle. Back in 1957, Dick Castle designed a cartridge with a single purpose: stopping a charging grizzly. The .454 Castle is essentially a .44 Magnum on steroids, firing 300 grain bullets at nearly 1,600 feet per second and producing over 1,800 foot-pounds of energy. In other words, it delivers rifle-like power in a revolver-sized package. It quickly earned its reputation in bear country, where hunters, guides, and bush pilots relied on it to put down dangerous game fast. The results are brutal. Enormous wound channels, deep penetration, and enough hydrostatic shock to drop even massive animals on the spot. Elk, moose, wild boar, and grizzlies have all been taken cleanly with well-placed Castle rounds. Of course, all that power comes with a price. The recoil is punishing, the blast is deafening, and shooting it feels like setting off a grenade in your hand. Still, Accuracy is impressive, with groups at 100 yards more than adequate for hunting. Revolvers chambered for .454 can also fire .45 Colt or .45 Schofield, making it surprisingly versatile. With modern loads from Hornady, Buffalo Bore, and Underwood, the Cazal remains the ultimate insurance policy when venturing into predator country. Number 7. 44. Special. Quiet doesn't mean weak, and the 44 Special proves it every time. Born in 1907 as a low-pressure big bore, it doesn't roar like the Magnums, but instead speaks with authority. Running at 750 to 900 feet per second, the numbers might look mild, yet the 429-inch bullet makes its presence felt in devastating fashion. This round doesn't slice, it crushes. The wide, heavy projectile tears through tissue with blunt force trauma that leaves massive wound channels. What makes it truly special is the balance. Serious stopping power paired with recoil that's tame enough for fast follow-up shots and long practice sessions. That's why it found loyal fans among cops, ranchers, and armed citizens for over a century. Elmer Keith famously pushed it beyond factory limits, his experiments eventually paving the way for the mighty .44 Magnum. Modern hollow points give it reliable expansion, while hard-cast bullets drill deep and straight. Load it in a .44 Magnum revolver for extra control without losing effectiveness, and you'll see why the .44 Special remains a trusted choice even today. Number 6. 357 Magnum. 85 years after its debut, the 357 Magnum still reigns as one of the most respected handgun cartridges ever created. First released in 1935 by Smith & Wesson in partnership with Winchester, it was designed to pierce car doors and the primitive body armor of its day. The result was a round that quickly became the gold standard for high-velocity handgun power, with muzzle energy ranging between 500 and 700 foot-pounds and 125 grain bullets screaming past 1,400 feet per second. It struck fear and respect in equal measure. Law enforcement, military units, and civilian shooters alike came to trust its balance of control and raw stopping power. Even better, revolvers chambered in .357 can also fire .38 special ammunition, offering flexibility and affordability. Flat shooting, accurate and versatile, the .357 Magnum remains more than just a legend. It is proof that some designs truly stand the test of time. Number 5. 45 Colt plus P. The 45 Colt plus P is where frontier history collides with modern firepower. The original 45 Colt, introduced in the 19th century, was loaded at mild pressures for black powder revolvers. But once engineers pushed the limits with plus P loadings, this legendary cartridge transformed into a Magnum-level performer. Built for rugged revolvers like the Ruger Blackhawk and Redhawk, the plus P easily rivals the .44 Magnum in raw power. Heavy bullets, often weighing between 250 and 360 grains, move at 1,000 to 1,200 feet per second, delivering 700 to 1,100 foot-pounds of bone-crushing energy. Hollow points expand violently, while hard-cast loads drive deep through thick hide and heavy bone. Perfect for wilderness defense or hunting. Recoil is stout but manageable, especially in heavier frame revolvers, and the muzzle blast adds serious intimidation factor. For shooters who want Old West heritage with 21st century bite, the 45 Colt plus P hits the sweet spot. Number 4. 480 Ruger. The 480 delivers heavyweight stopping power without brutal recoil. Introduced in 2003, it was built for hunters facing dangerous game at close range. Firing massive 475-inch bullets, it doesn't chase extreme velocity, but relies on sheer weight and momentum for devastating penetration. Compared to the .454 Cazal, recoil is noticeably more manageable, giving shooters the control needed in high-stress bear defense or hunting encounters. Typical loads push 325 to 410 grain bullets at 1,200 to 1,350 feet per second, producing 1,300 to 1,600 foot-pounds of energy. That's enough for elk, moose, bison, or black bear without beating up the shooter. Chambered primarily in the Ruger Super Redhawk, This round benefits from strong revolver frames and long brass life. Though ammo runs around $4 per round, many hunters swear the .480 Ruger is a lifesaver when it counts. Number 3. 41 Magnum. The 41 Magnum is the forgotten powerhouse of the revolver world. Brought to life in 1964 by Remington and Smith & Wesson, it was designed to bridge the gap between the .357 Magnum and the .44 Magnum. What emerged was no compromise. This cartridge delivered true Magnum performance. Firing 210 grain bullets at roughly 1,500 feet per second, it generated more than 1,000 foot-pounds of bone-crushing energy. On paper, it had everything: deep penetration, massive wound channels, and accuracy that rivaled any revolver round ever made. Yet timing worked against it. Semi-automatics were gaining popularity, and police forces found the recoil too heavy for everyday carry. As a result, the .41 Magnum slipped into obscurity, embraced mainly by hunters and revolver purists. In long-barreled handguns like the Smith & Wesson Model 57, it delivers extraordinary accuracy, making it a devastating yet underrated option for serious shooters. Number 2. 44 Magnum. Hollywood made it famous. Reality keeps it relevant. Clint Eastwood immortalized the .44 Magnum with his iconic line about the most powerful handgun in the world. But decades later, this cartridge continues to earn respect through performance rather than publicity. Introduced in the 1950s as the ultimate handgun cartridge, the .44 Magnum established the template for all subsequent Magnum developments. 240 to 300 grain bullets traveling at 1,200 to 1,500 feet per second generate 900 to 1,300 foot-pounds of crushing energy. This level of performance makes it suitable for hunting deer, wild boar, and even black bears with proper shot placement. The cartridge excels in hunting applications where deep penetration and massive wound channels are essential. Its accuracy potential is remarkable, with experienced shooters achieving consistent hits at 100 yards using iron sights. This precision capability makes it deadly at distances that would challenge lesser cartridges. Competitive shooting sports embraced the .44 Magnum during the metallic silhouette craze, where its combination of power and accuracy dominated matches. The recoil is substantial but predictable, allowing shooters to develop techniques for managing the massive energy transfer. Modern revolvers from Smith & Wesson and Ruger are built specifically to handle the pressures and stresses of Magnum ammunition. Factory loads range from mild target ammunition to full-power hunting rounds, providing flexibility for different applications. Premium hunting ammunition costs approximately $2.50 per round. The .44 Magnum represents the foundation of Magnum handgun development, proving that legendary status must be earned through decades of reliable performance in the field and at the range. Number 1. 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. The undisputed king of handgun power. Smith & Wesson and Corbon created the 500 S&W Magnum in 2003 with one goal: reclaiming the title of most powerful production handgun cartridge on Earth. They succeeded spectacularly. This monster fires bullets weighing up to 700 grains, delivering twice the energy of a .44 Magnum and establishing itself as the ultimate expression of handgun power. The cartridge is so powerful that Smith & Wesson had to develop an entirely new X-frame revolver just to contain the tremendous pressures and energies involved. The 500 S&W Magnum operates at 60,000 psi maximum pressure, though most factory ammunition is loaded to 50,000 psi to ease extraction and extend brass life. Professional hunters use this cartridge on Cape buffalo, grizzly bears, and even elephants, proving its capability on the world's most dangerous game. The recoil is beyond description, requiring specialized shooting techniques and substantial physical conditioning to handle effectively. Even experienced Magnum shooters are humbled by their first encounter with the 500 S&W Magnum. Eye and ear protection become critical safety equipment, as the muzzle blast and concussion can cause permanent damage. Most shooters require double hearing protection and side shields on their shooting glasses due to the significant debris ejected from the muzzle brake. The cartridge has expanded beyond revolvers. with companies like Bighorn Armory chambering lever action rifles for increased versatility and slightly higher velocities. Factory ammunition commands premium prices, typically $5 to $7 per round, reflecting the specialized nature and limited production volumes. The 500 S&W Magnum is not just ammunition, it is a statement of intent, reserved for those who demand absolute maximum power and are willing to endure the considerable physical punishment that accompanies each shot. Which of these calibers shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let us know your favorite revolver round. If you enjoyed learning about these powerhouse cartridges, smash that subscribe button for more firearm content.